Okay, so we're back from Vid Summit for just a couple of days, and I was lucky enough to catch a bug on the way back, which is awesome. I think all three of us got sick. All the hacking and stuff on the plane. You know, I live in a cocoon down here. Just not around the public a lot, so I don't know. Maybe it makes me vulnerable to viruses and stuff. So at any rate, yesterday I got back, and I've been back since Saturday, and Logan and I had a long discussion, and we are delightfully surprised to see him gaining some interest in what we're doing here with this channel or with this YouTube stuff, and it's kind of exciting. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read the book Rocket Fuel. In order to have a thriving business, you typically have a visionary and you have somebody who is the implementer. And in our relationship, he has become the implementer and I'm the visionary. So the short version of that book, if you haven't read it, is it's kind of a yin and a yang thing. If you let a visionary run wild, typically he's going to run the business into the ground, because financially your business is not going to keep up with his vision, unless of course he's some sort of Superman, or you find an idea that is miraculous. Let's put it that way. So you got somebody who keeps track of the details and somebody that makes shit happen. That's basically the way it works. So he and I, thank God I found that book. Had I not found that book, him and I would have been beating our heads against each other, because he is wired different than I am, and I was pushing him to be more like me. And honestly, his personality and the way that he is sewn together is perfect for this scenario that him and I are running. So a lot of times I come to him and I say, blah, 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 I want to do this. And he gives me pushback. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you've been in the entrepreneur space at all in your life, you find the naysayers in your life, and you have to be careful to not put your integrator in that category, because what happens is you're missing out, because somebody's got to keep track of all the details. Somebody's got to get the taxes paid. Somebody's got to make sure the payroll's done and stuff like that. In this case, Talon and Logan are running Remove It Pros, and I'm growing Remove It Pros. We're growing it through this channel and through going into these next markets. So let's talk about the next thing. So the next thing is, and this is what we're going to talk about at the very end of this video, is marketing companies. Okay, I'm interviewing this marketing company with Logan on Friday. It's just so hard. It's so hard to deal with the marketing companies, because there's so much of what they do that you can't see, and they want you to trust them, and they want to put things together. They want to put you on a payment plan, and so on and so forth. In this case, initially I had talked to these guys on my own and did some research with them, and it sounded to me like they were going to own our website, and well, that ain't going to happen. So, but at any rate, I went out to Vid Summit, and I ran across Roger Wakefield, and they talked a lot about this high-level program. Typically, if Daryl's got something involved in Vid Summit, he's vetted it and you can trust it. So I had this meeting with them on Friday. I went ahead and loaded the trial program for high level onto my computer, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a try. So let me tell you a story. So I'm still in the field. I'm working in a very, very high-end neighborhood, a neighborhood where the average house is probably $5 million, or the low-end houses are $5 million, and they go up. It's just perfect as far as it's pristine inside. They live in their own little world. It's called Tiburon, okay? And I'm working in a house, and I flipped a lot of houses when I was younger, and before the market crash. and we're working on a house for a guy, and we're taking out, mud set like this out of the house, marble, and then there was a mud set. So the floors were like this thick. And we're taking this thing apart, and, we're on this job for several days, and, we're still rookies at this, and we're learning. And at any rate, I drive down the street, and there was a Rolls Royce, a white Rolls Royce at the end of the street. And this time it was facing in the other direction, and I could see the license plate. The license plate said Top SEO. So I talked to the guy we were working for, and he's kind of an entrepreneurial guy. He was doing some stuff with bringing energy to like Venezuela or some place like that. And very interesting to talk to him, and then me, I'm starting all over. I'm in the field, busting my butt like a 20-year-old. And I asked him, I said, whose car is that? And why does it say Top SEO on it? He said, well, that's the guy that, I don't remember if he said it was the CEO of Hertz or the owner of Hertz Rent-A-Car. And I'm like, wow. So isn't that funny that his plate would say Top SEO? He said, no, it's not funny at all. He said guys that are very successful, he says they can control their marketing themselves because they just do, because they can't trust anyone. So here I am, about 6 months ago. No, 2 years ago now. Okay, we're going to go into the machine-driven demolition, which we've been all hands-on demolition up to this point. And primarily because there's a lot of repurposing done in the amount of things that we can do, and a lot of people are not willing to do this, and they can't control the labor and so on and so forth. They can't get it done. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get the guys to show up and do what they're supposed to do and so on and so forth. It's really not hard if you know the formulas, but it's hard if you don't. So we're cranking along, and then this hurricane came in, and we were looking to expand, and we're fearful that we've expanded as far as we can on the hands-on demolition. Okay, so we were toying around with the idea of going ahead and tearing houses down. So the hurricane hits, and it's a dead hit. It hit. I live here in Fort Myers Beach. It hit us hard. I mean, there was 6 foot of water in my house. So we're going to start machine-driven demolition. Okay, so Talon and Logan are in their late 20s, and that's exciting to them. It's exciting to me as long as we can make money doing it. So as soon as that hit, I bolted around and talked to some of the neighbors that are going to tear their houses down and said, hey, I'll do it. And we gave them a bid. So, we went and found a machine, and it was on and got it on its way here. So because of that, I thought, man, I know that I've got the marketing I did got us where we're at. I also know that we're at a very high level of word of mouth advertising. So, one of the advertising companies called me maybe a year ago, and I'm talking to them, and I say, hey, I really don't need your help. I got, 97%, 95% word of mouth advertising, and the rest of it comes off of my trucks. So each one of my trucks are set up like billboards. Well, he said, look at all the business you're missing out on. And I thought, you know what? That is so true. Because you know what? We're not trying to get new business. So I don't know. How much business are we missing out on? And then you think, well, how much business do you need? I don't know. We'll do as much as we can. We're adding value in a big way, so I want to do as much as I can. So I talked to another guy. I'm searching around the internet and talking to some guys, and I talked to this guy, and he's sharp. I mean, he's just really sharp. Now, I don't know if he's really sharp at marketing or really sharp at talking guys like me into getting into his program. So he explains to me how he does it. I explain to him what I'm doing. He looks at my site. I said to him, I think I'm doing pretty good at this because we're really, really, a really big company and stuff. And he says, yeah, you are. I said, how much more business do you think you could get us? He said, I don't know. I think he said 90% more, some crazy number. And I'm like, ooh. So then he tells me some scores that we have on our website and stuff, and they were on Google itself. It's not real bad, but on the other websites and stuff, like on Bing and AOL and all these other things, our scores are really low. So basically, I've come to learn is like, for example, I have Remove It Pros, and in another area of the internet, I have Remove It Pros Incorporated. In another area, I might put Remove It Pros Inc. and not put the period. So if he said all that stuff makes a big difference. So I said, okay, no problem. He said, how much? He told me how much. We gave him some money up front. It was like $3,000. And so the first thing he did is he turned off our ads. Now, our ads were working. Now, they weren't working very good, apparently, according to him, but they were working. We turned my ads off. He put my ads into learning mode. They restructured everything. It took them like a month to do this, and they never came out of the learning phase on Google Ads. They never got it out. He put our account over to some person that was from another country who didn't know crap, and they screwed it all up. They didn't listen. They put us a cuss word in our business is trash or waste removal. You don't want any of that on your websites because everybody gets their garbage picked up at their house. And when there's an issue, they're calling the trash company or the waste company. Well, we're not the trash company or the waste company. So I'm getting calls for waste management nonstop. Well, Google's really cool about that. They just charge the heck out of you for that. If you let the AI free, they do the same thing. So it's kind of frustrating, kind of aggravating, and you can't get any of that money back. That advertising money, when you do that with Google, you're not getting any of it back. It's your screw up, and that's that. So that's where we're at. So at this point, I go out. I have a meeting, Justin, with Daryl Ives' office. Daryl Ives is a guy that kind of teaches people how to do YouTube. He hooks me up with a Roger Wakefield, who is a delightful person, and I went out to him and he did an interview with me about what we do and stuff like that. And he talked to me about his marketing stuff. He got slammed the same way I did. His was a $47,000 issue. Mine, I figure, with the amount of time it took for me to get control of it and to finally make the move to take it back from this guy. We were 6 months in with these guys, and you figure what we're doing. These jobs are $20,000 to $20,000 to $50,000 jobs, tearing down these buildings. And because we couldn't get ranked on Google at all, and there was a lot of outside competition here, I figure it cost us between $200,000 and $400,000 based off of what we're making now. So what a costly mistake. So now we're back in that same position. I'm looking to expand into Sarasota. We're doing some marketing up there, and it's not working. It's not working very well. Now I could accept the fact that maybe the market's going backwards or sideways or something, or I could say, hey, maybe I'm not doing a very good job. So I'm looking at what's the problem with us going into a new market. Well, we want to expand this company all over the state of Florida. Well, we know how to run the business really good, but we don't know how to market in a new marketplace. So that's what we're learning. So now, if I could hire it and know, I would. But I don't think I can. And I listen to Alex Hormozy. I listen to Roger. I listen to some other guys in different books about marketing, and so I guess I'm just stuck. I'm going to have to learn it myself. Now, we're going to meet with this company on Friday, and we'll make a decision on whether we're going to do something with them, but I'm going to keep control of it, and I'm going to dig into it even more. I know there's several things that I'm not doing right, but if other people are doing this, then I just got to learn how to do it. So that's where I'm at with this. I toy with the idea is a good use of my time, but I know that it is, because guess what? If I do it when there's a problem, I can correct it immediately. And every time we get involved with one of these guys, they end up ranking us all over the place for junk removal and waste and trash and stuff like that. Waste all kinds of money. People don't listen. It's frustrating. So at any rate, this is Remove It Pros Entrepreneur. Our main channel is Remove It Pros Demolition. We have a junk removal book coming out here very shortly. And then I've also got a book in the works for doing demolition. So it's a pleasure to talk to you. I'll see you on the next video.